We use leading-edge technology to treat the water as it passes through many stages, including coagulation, flocculation, dissolved air flotation, filtration, and 3 types of disinfection. Our system protects public health by virtually eliminating the risk of waterborne disease and reducing the level of harmful disinfection byproducts. It also improves the taste, odor, and appearance of our tap water. Shoal Lake has been our source of water since 1919. It's located 136 kilometers from Winnipeg at the Manitoba-Ontario border and is approximately 92 meters higher than Winnipeg. Water flows downhill from Shoal Lake through an aqueduct into 4 large reservoirs next to the treatment plant. The aqueduct is a large concrete pipe that carries up to 386 million liters of water per day to the reservoirs. The reservoirs hold up to 8.8 billion liters of water, which on average is enough to supply Winnipeg for about 30 days. Water flows from the reservoirs through 2 large pipes into powerful pumps that move the water into the plant for treatment. This $300 million state-of-the-art facility features a highly automated system that monitors and controls a wide variety of instruments, mechanical equipment, and electrical equipment including 40 processors, 140 pumps, 2,300 valves, and 1,400 instruments. It can treat up to 400 million liters of water per day. In this first step, we add sulfuric acid and ferric chloride as the water flows into the plant. Sulfuric acid lowers the pH of the water and makes this stage of treatment more efficient. Ferric chloride, a coagulant, causes the naturally occurring particles of organic material in the water to attract each other. The water enters flocculation basins, where large mixers slowly stir the water, causing the particles to collide and stick together, creating large clumps. Now that large clumps have been formed in the water, the next step is to remove them. We do this in dissolved air flotation tanks. We inject a stream of water, supersaturated with air, into the flocculated water which is flowing into the bottom of the tanks. Tiny air bubbles are released into the water and carry the clumps to the top of the tanks. Skimmers remove the floating clumps from the surface of the water. The clumps are pumped to an area for further processing. The treated water is collected from the bottom of the tanks. The water flows from the dissolved air flotation tanks to chambers where ozone is added. This step, called ozonation, does 3 things. It provides the first level of disinfection by destroying most of the harmful bacteria. It improves the filter performance in the next treatment stage, and it improves the taste and odor of the water. We make ozone by applying electricity to liquid oxygen. At the end of the ozone chambers, we add sodium bisulfite to the ozonated water to remove any leftover ozone. The water now flows into filter tanks containing biologically activated carbon. The filters remove any remaining small particles in the water, including parasites. Good bacteria growing on the filters remove some of the remaining dissolved organic material. This reduces the level of disinfection byproducts in the water. We clean the filters regularly by pumping air and water backwards through them. The backwashed water is pumped to an area for additional processing. The filtered water flows into the chlorine contact chamber for a second round of disinfection. We add chlorine to kill viruses and bacteria such as E. coli that might be in the water. Chlorine is the most widely used drinking water disinfectant in North America and has been used for more than 100 years. We then add sodium hydroxide to bring back the pH of the water close to the original level. The water flows from the chlorine contact chamber into an underground reservoir called the Clearwell. We disinfect the water once again using ultraviolet or UV light. We pump the water through 6 stainless steel chambers, each containing 9 ultraviolet lamps. The lamps are similar to fluorescent bulbs. With only seconds of exposure, the UV light rays penetrate any remaining parasites, such as Cryptosporidium or Giardia. The UV light renders these parasites harmless. After UV disinfection, the water flows into 2 large pipes where we add fluoride to help prevent tooth decay. We also add orthophosphate to form a protective coating inside water pipes. This coating helps reduce corrosion that may add lead to tap water. The 2 large pipes carry the treated water to our 3 reservoirs and pumping stations in the city. We add chlorine again as the water is pumped into the distribution system to ensure that the water remains disinfected until it reaches your tap. The final stage of treatment is to deal with the materials removed from the water by the treatment processes. The backwash water from the filters is allowed to stand until the solid materials settle. We then send the clean water back to the beginning of the treatment process. We pump the settled out material from the filters and the clumps of particles from the dissolved air flotation process to outdoor settling ponds next to the treatment plant. The pond contents go through natural freeze-thaw cycles, which separate the liquid and solids. We pump the liquid into Winnipeg's sewer system for wastewater treatment and take the solids to the landfill for disposal. We test our water each step of the way, from Shoal Lake to your tap. Our testing program includes over 150 different tests at more than 130 different locations throughout the year. Because water quality is so important, we do more testing than the provincial government requires. Our certified professional team is dedicated to ensuring that our community enjoys safe, high-quality drinking water that meets provincial regulatory requirements and falls well within Health Canada guidelines. We hope that you've enjoyed this tour of our drinking water supply and treatment system.